Online form. Okay. Okay. Good morning, guys. So new room, huh? Yeah. So the room was changed. Okay. Anyway, so now we started here. Okay. Right. So in the last session on Friday, up to super key and candidate key definitions we discuss. Okay. So these two constant keys we discussed in the last class. Okay. No? So what is super key and what is candidate key? So we said super key is nothing but a column or combination of columns. Okay. It was going to be uniquely identifying your rows. So then we called as it is a super, and any minimal super key which is uniquely identifying a row is called as a candidate. But what we said, but candidate keys or the combination of super keys are not a candidate key. The combination of super key is not a candidate key. So every individual super key is called also candidate key. Okay. And now come to your keys, how to find out in a table, super keys columns, how to find out, and combination, how to find out, and later candidate keys we said. And come out here, Boy's code normal form. So Boy's code normal form, what it was saying guys here, it should be in the third normal form, and any dependency, if A depends on B, A should be super key. Okay, let me come out. So this is one table guys here. So student ID and subject, these both are called a composite primary keys. Okay, both. And now this is professor. Okay, is not a composite primary key. That means it's not a primary key. So now here what happened? Professor is a non-primary key column, and it depends on what now? Subject. But subject is what now? Primary key column. Okay, but Boy's code normal form, what we said, if A depends on B, then A should be super key. And we said in the last class, super key is nothing but primary key. So primary key, super key, candidate key, composite primary keys, these are all are same. Okay. So now here A depends on B, but A should be super key, we said. Okay. And now come to here professor, if you say A, and subject if you say B, then professor depends on subject, but professor is not a super key here. But professor is not a super key. It means not a primary key here. Is not a primary key here. So now I want to change this. Okay, column now. So how I can change? Now you can see the how to satisfy BCNF means here one separate table I'm taking, student table, student ID and professor ID. Student ID and professor ID. So student IDs and professor IDs I was given here. And now professor table you can see. In professor table, professor ID and professor now both are composite primary keys, and subject is not a primary key. So now professor depends on subject, and professor is what now? Primary key or nothing but super key. Okay, now so that just I want to reverse order. Okay, now so now that means A depends on B, and A should be super key. And now previously it was subject is the primary key, professor is a non-primary key, it's nothing but non-super key. Now what I want to change here, I was applied my primary key on professor column instead of subject column. Instead of subject column, then professor depends on subject, then professor is a primary key. Primary key is nothing but super key. Okay, so that kind of any dependencies are there here. So once depends on another, but other column is primary and dependency column is non-primary, then it will be change. Okay, na? So that is what we called as here. So this is the boys code normal form we simply called as. But here these are the first normal, second, third, and BCNF. These are the four main rules we should maintain when you want to go for database designing levels. Okay. But later on, one more is say, what is that? Fourth normal and fifth normal. So these are the two normalizations. These two normalizations are called as a optional. So why it is optional, sir? And why it is not mandatory here? And why it is optional means, let me come out and see. The fourth normal form, carefully observe what it was telling guys here. Your table to be satisfied the fourth normal form, it should satisfy the following two conditions. One is boys code normal form should be there. That means in your columns, there should not be having any professor, whatever we said, A depends on B. A should be super key, but not B super key. Yes or no? So that kind of maintenance. And additional thing is what now in this, a table does not contain more than one independent multi-valued attribute. Otherwise, attribute means column. Otherwise, multi-valued dependencies. So, what it was telling in the fourth normal form, a table does not contain. A table does not contain more than one independent. You're careful observe. More than one independent multi-valued attributes. Okay, your table should not contain more than one independent multi-valued attributes. Attribute means column. That should not be there like this. Okay, if it is there, then I need to decompose. That means split your table into multiple tables. Okay, let me see. Here the new thing is multi-valued dependency. What is the mean by multi-valued dependency? Here observe definition. In a table, careful observe, in a table, one column, same value matching with or match with multiple values of another column. Match with the multiple values of another column. Okay, it means what, sir? Here observe. So now carefully observe. Student ID, course, hobby. And here, student ID, a column. This is a column. A column, same value, same value. Can you see same value now? Yes or no? A column, same value. Okay. So now we can say in a table, a column. This is a column. Same value. Okay. Is match with multiple values of another column. Careful observe. Careful observe. Same value match with the multiple values of another column. So one Oracle, one Java, one C#. That means same 111, same value is matching with how many different values of other column. That is called a multiple values of other column. So like one Oracle, okay, what we said, okay, so this is one column, different values, okay, one Oracle, one Java, one C#. Same to same, one cricket, one reading, one hockey. That means same value, a single column, same value will match with the multiple values of another column. This is what they called as a multi-valued dependency columns. What we called a multi-valued dependency we called. Okay, the same value is depending on multiple values of another column. Then it is called as a multi-valued dependencies. Okay, but okay, fine. But here, carefully tell me, in this table, how many multi-valued columns are there means there are two words there. One is course is a multi-valued column, and hobby is also multi-valued column. Okay, that means in this table I have here two multi-valued columns are there. That is one thing. And now tell me guys here, course column and hobby column do have any relation? No. So courses are different. Hobby is different. There is no meaning of these two. Yes or no? Both are independent columns. Both are independent columns. So that means this is one independent column. This is one independent column. That means now tell me, here in this table, how many independent multi-valued columns are there? Two. One is hobby, one is course. So in this table, there are two independent multi-valued columns are there. Okay, now that's what. But here, as per your fourth normal form, what it was saying that a table should not contain more than one independent multi-valued column. What your table should be there should not be contain more than one multi-valued dependency columns. But my table is having more than one. Okay, that means this college enrollment table is not satisfied fourth enough, because fourth enough, what it was telling, your table should contain only one multi-valued column, but you are having two multi-value columns. So then it is not allowed here. So then what I want to do, I want to decomposing. That means splitting this table into multiple tables. So now how you divide? One table I divide with the hobbies table. One table I divide with the course opted table. So now we can see hobbies table, student ID, hobby, course table, student ID, course. And now you can see the table. Here, hobbies table, a column, same value with matching with the multiple values of another column. Okay, another column. So, multi-valued dependency column. This is which column? Multi-valued dependency column. But how many columns are there? One only there. One will be satisfied, but more than one will be not satisfied. So that means now this table is comes under which fourth enough satisfied. Same as come to course table. Same as come to course table. In course table is also same column with the same value is matched with the multiple values of another column. And this is also what? Multi-valued column. But how many are there in this table? Only one is there. So that's why this is also comes under fourth enough table. Okay, now? So when we have a more than one independent multi-valued columns are there in the table, so those should be removed. Okay, so now that means now the two tables I splitted, one is hobby, one is course, and this hobby table now it's satisfied for enough, and course opted table also satisfied for enough. Okay, because of reason there is no more than one independent multi-valued column. One is accepted, but more than one is not accepted. So that is what. So the quite opposite of your 4NF is called as what now? 5NF. Is called as what now? 5NF. In 5NF, what it was telling, careful observe. If a table having multi-valued columns, okay, and also that table cannot decompose into multiple tables. Yet decompose means what? Divide, split is called as a decomposing. So decomposing meaning, what is the mean by decompose? Split, divide. So what it was saying that fifth enough, okay, suppose your table is having multi-valued attributes, multi-valued columns, and also that table cannot be split. cannot be divided into multiple tables is called as what now? Okay, fifth normal form. That means what now? Here, this is my table. This table is having multi-valued columns. Yes or no? Multi-valued columns are there. One are there, more than one. More than one is there. But what it was more than one if it is there, and this table, if I'm not splitting and I'm keeping this table as it is, then this is called as what now? 5NF. This is 5NF. Okay, now suppose your table is having multi-valued columns, but don't decompose. If you're not decomposing and you're keeping as it is, then it is called a 5NF. If you are decomposing, then it is called as a 4NF. That's why, okay, now I'm giving in the brackets. This table is a 5NF because I'm not divided. I'm not decomposed here. That's why as it is, I'm keeping here. I have a more than one multi-valued dependency columns, but I'm not splitting here. I'm keeping as it is. Then it is called as what now? 5NF. But this table, when you want to split into two tables, decomposing into two tables, then these two tables are called as what I said? 4NF. Okay, that means here choice is user. Choice is designer. Either you can split or you cannot split. If you are not splitting and keeping your multi-valued columns as it is, then it is called a 5NF. If you split, then it is called a 4NF. That's why 4NF, 5NF is called as a optional. Optional means choice. It's a choice. You can, you cannot, nothing problem to you. You are designing phase. Okay, now? So that's why most of the people, the 4 and 5NF, sir, they didn't explain to you. They will leave it here. But why, sir, means this is a reason. Either split or you didn't split and keep multi-value columns as it is in the table without splitting. More than one is there, then it is called a 5NF. If you're splitting, then it is called a 4NF. Okay, now? So these are what now? The normalization forms and technique, and every technique is having one solution, one problem and one solution. Understand now? Yes. And carefully observe, this normalization is completely taken over by designers. So you people will not going to be use anything, but just having some idea. But this is completely the part of designing people. When they want to design database applications, the first they are using normalization techniques, and each and every technique they will be checking in your designing levels. Okay, in your designing levels, each and every technique will be check it. All techniques are satisfied, your tables are not checking. After satisfied, then those tables send it to developers. Then developers, based on the diagrams, they will be implemented in their application. Okay, now? So this is normalization topic. Okay, and up to here, I hope I send all complete notes. Yes or no? Running notes, main notes, whatever it is. And this is your SQL part. Okay, now? The part 1 we completed here. Okay, and the next one is what now? Part 2. That is called a PLSQL. So PLSQL will take almost the 15 sessions it will take, guys, here. That means 2 weeks of time it will take to PLSQL. So 15 classes. So that's why I'm saying that maximum your batch will be coming to close June 20 to 25 between your course will be completed. Okay, including PLSQL. And PLSQL, okay, so here one more thing I want to tell you. Java students, PLSQL part is 2 concepts, 3 concepts are there. Stored procedure, stored function, triggers. These 3 concepts is enough for Java students. And who are going to be backend side, purely database developing side people, compulsory learn entire PLSQL. Okay, na? But Java people, these 3 topics will be covered in your Java application from your Oracle PLSQL. What is that? Procedures, function, triggers. These 3 concepts, if you learn it from this part, it's more enough for Java students, .NET students, Python students, what we can say, PHP students, enough. Okay, na? And who are going to completely back-end side developer, like a database programmer, SQL programmer, PLSQL programmer, Oracle programmer. So those people compulsory finish at your PLSQL part. Okay, now? Right. So that is what next language, PLSQL. And PLSQL, why, sir? What is the advantage of PLSQL? Why the people was introducing here? And when you comparing, that means we know whenever you want to go for any new technology means any new version it was come to market means the existing version is having what some problems or some drawbacks and some features are not supported. So those things to overcome, okay, we are using what we are introducing what now, new versions. So like a C C++, C++ after Java, Java after .NET. So how it was came us in the front end, back end side also first language is what now? SQL. SQL is the main language of database, especially object relational database management systems are completely depending on SQL. But SQL through whatever we did, and everywhere we are using just a single line statements of queries. Yes or no? Everything is a one line statement queries, insert, update, delete, subquery, joins, whatever you written, only one line statement queries we written. But some kind of things we can't do by using what SQL. So what kind of things we can't do? What kind of features we cannot implement by using of SQL? Okay, and those things how the people will be implemented by using of PLSQL language. Okay, now so SQL, PLSQL differences what? Okay, so what is the problem and the problem solutions? What are those? And PLSQL is completely programming part. So here in PLSQL, SQL purpose, you don't want to need any prerequisites. But PLSQL purpose also, it's not mandatory. But if we have some Java knowledge, if you have some C language knowledge, it was more easy for you. So if any student is there, they are already learning Java course, the people can understand easily PLSQL. Or any student, they have already knowledge of C language, they can easily understand. So minimum C knowledge if you have. Why? Because I'm telling that variable declarations, how to declare variable, how to assigning values to the variables, how to print those variables on the screen, yes or no? And if else conditions, for loop, while loop, yes or no? So these kind of knowledge, if you have it now, then PLSQL is very easy for you. And this knowledge, if anybody is not there, so they will feel like this little bit tough. But don't worry, if you don't have any C background, any Java background, so those people, what they want to do, don't miss any class of PLSQL. Regularly attend from the base level. I will explain to you PLSQL. If base level to advanced level, if you attend the classes now, PLSQL also very easy for you without having any background. And background student, they can fastly understand programs. Non-background means C language, Java knowledge is not there. They will understand slowly. Okay, but don't worry, every program line by line, I will explain to you what it was going to be happen. Understand now? So that all we will discuss in the part of PLSQL. Okay, but PLSQL, so not today and tomorrow I started here. Up to here, SQL is finished, guys, here. And some more concepts we are learning. Those concepts we are covering under PLSQL part. Okay, now? Right. And from tomorrow onwards, and today onwards, but today so many students are confusing, okay, classes. So that's why today I started later. And tomorrow, as usual timings, 11:10, 11:15, I started. So you just come to directly this building. Okay, now? And don't go that building and you people come to here. Understand now? So now address all of you know now how to come. It's a landmark is what now? Prime Hospital. Prime Hospital, opposite building, your Naresh IT. Okay, now? So this is your landmark. And tomorrow, as usual timings, come and sit here. Okay, in this classroom. And don't go that. If any of your friends are missed today, and to inform to them and bring them here. Okay, now? Right, guys. And I stop it here. and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow with the which language? PLSQL. Okay, and some more students also adding in our batch for PLSQL who want it. So that's why I'm going to postpone tomorrow. Okay, now, right, guys. So thank you so much.